What's going on, guys? Have not done one of these what's in my gym bag reviews in quite some time. The main thing of this is I live closer to my gym and I'm going to be able to ride my bike. So one of the things I want to do is transport things from this massive bag to my Go Ruck pack. Now, first things first about the bag, I still absolutely believe this is the best gym bag you could possibly buy. If you are going to use a duffel, if you're going to drive to the gym and you want everything nice and organized, then nothing beats this bag. This is still going to be my essential bag and my biggest #1 recommendation for anyone looking for a bag. Haven Athletic actually did come out with a backpack. I got to test one of the initial versions. I loved it. Maybe I'll get it down the road. But since I can't get one, I am going to be perfectly happy with this Go Ruck bag. I did a video on 100% gym bag setup made in America, which I bought this one, but I got to tell you, this is the most well-built, overly developed and constructed bag I've ever owned. This is made to hold a ton of weight to go rucking. So not only will I have a really nice bag for holding all my gym equipment, if a workout calls for it, I can throw weight in here and I'll have no problem using it just to make my workouts a little harder. The interior is going to open up into two compartments. One, the main compartment where I'll be keeping a majority of my gear with plenty of storage. And then there's a secondary compartment that we're going to start with, which will hold my mobility gear. Percussive gun of any sort. I personally am a huge fan of Theragun. I think they're pretty much Apple as far as like technology recovery companies. One thing I will touch on is market differentiation of why you would buy one product over the other. So my first massage gun was a Hygiene Hypervolt. Didn't really get a feel of what made that different, why you would pay a premium. But when I got the Theragun, it's just the durability, how strong it is, and their patented ergonomic design. If you want more details on that, then go check out that dedicated video I created for the Theragun. These are kind of debatable. Voodoo bands, these are for restricting blood flow. So when I'm incredibly sore, I'll throw these, and it tends to be used on my legs mostly. And what it does is you warm up, you restrict blood flow, and then you undo them, and all the new blood rushes in. It's similar methodology to like a massage. You press down, push old blood out, release, new blood comes in. Studies are not definitive on their efficacy, but I use them, and placebo is a real thing. TheraBands. I use these upper body mobility warm up. I need them. I don't have great mobility, and I can tell the huge difference if I'm going to do something that is going to be something like muscle ups, pull-ups, or anything overhead like snatches, overhead squats. I have to use these. Hip circle. This is another thing, especially like deadlifts, anything lateral. I need this. I bought the Slingshot one, Mark Bell's company, and I think his brother Chris Bell actually is part owner of it as well. Just big fan, so just to support them and all the content that I've consumed from them, I bought the hip circle from Slingshot. That's the only reason that I bought this specific one, but it works perfect. It's been incredibly durable, and with all my stuff, I beat the crap out of. So keep my hip circle. Body wipes by Clean Freak. Going from the gym, going from one thing to another. If I'm going to be there for quite some time, or if I'm coming out of hot yoga, then I hit myself with these body wipes. My Reband knee sleeves. I do have Rogue knee sleeves as well. They're just not holding up as well as these Reband sleeves. Again, I've done another video on this. Reband with these, and then also I've got wrist sleeves. They just feel amazing. They hold their integrity well. They're so well built, and I sweat in them. I've used them day in, day out. I do use them sparingly, so I try to warm up and do weight as much as possible before I get anything. Usually over about 315 is when I start sliding these things on. I'll use these for high volume reps. If I'm gonna be doing a ton of wall balls, a ton of squat cleans, anything like that in a workout, I'll throw these bad boys on. And then same for these. They're a lot looser fit. Something I feel when I'm working out is a lot of blood flow, and then my wrist size starts increasing because of that pump. So using more of restrictive straps like these Rogue straps. Still love these if I'm not going to be doing a ton of volume work. I prefer using the Reband arm sleeves. But I do also have these Rogue wrist wraps for more heavy work, when I need more stability. If I'm going to be doing heavy bench, heavy overhead squats, something like that, I'll do these. Actually, before I throw these in, what's going to go at the bottom of my bag are the only shoes I'm going to talk about in this video. I'll do a different shoe video for workout shoes. And that is my Nike Romaleo 4s. There's no specific reason why I think the Romaleos are better than Reebok's lifters, Noble's lifters, or anything else. I do think these are highly durable. I do personally feel more stable. It splays out up here in the midfoot and then back here on the heel. And they just look good. I mean, I think this is the best looking lifter that you could possibly buy. So aesthetically, that's the big reason. There's no other reason why I would get these versus the Savaleos even, or any other lifter. That's just my personal opinion. Big fan of how these look and how they work. Wrist straps, self-explanatory. These are just cheap Amazon ones. They work perfectly fine. Some people make their own. I have no real reason why I bought Gym Reapers. I'll put links in the description, everything. Another miscellaneous item, dead wedge. Deadlifting is my absolute favorite thing. The heavier weights you go, the better it's gonna be when taking on and off with the dead wedge. I don't need this in my bag, so I'm gonna keep it in my Haven athletic bag because I'm just not deadlifting that often, or I could probably just keep it in the gym here. Lifting belts. I don't know why I got two in my bag right now. I bought this Pioneer one, 100% made in the USA, actually here in Texas, and then two-pooed. Between the two, I prefer the two-pooed. I think it's the most versatile. I can use it during certain Metcons. I can use it for heavy lifts. The Pioneer one does feel more stable when I'm doing heavier lifts, but taking it on and off is kind of a pain. So for the purposes of my bag, I'm gonna be choosing the two-pooed belt, but the Pioneer belt is perfectly fine. And actually, I'm just gonna keep this one in my gym. This is an empty bag. You know why it's empty? Because someone stole my RPM rope. And this was actually a competition rope that was gifted from the CEO and founder of RPM. You know, things happen and it's whatever, but just to go to show you, I bought another one because I think this is my 6th one. I've gifted the RPM rope to multiple people. I've had 2 stolen. I have a dedicated video on the speed rope. I love the fact that Shane Rogers, an industrial engineer, and just over-engineered a jump rope. For double unders, nothing beats this rope. I think for having a personal rope, it's very essential, especially since you customize the length to you and you get the feel of it. The purpose of the workouts with the double under is to get that stimulation and get that cardio in. So having to screw around with different size ropes and a rope that's not yours is too much of a pain in the ass. I think this is a gym bag essential to get any sort of speed rope of any kind, but especially big fan of the RPM rope. I am not paid to say that. Gymnastics grips for gymnastics. These are the Victory grips. These have held up better than Pixels I've had, especially the Bare Complex ones. I love the carbon pattern in front. I love the leather material. Again, these have held up so well, and the grip on the bar is so nice to getting those muscle ups. The worst thing that I hate is when you get really sweaty and you start slipping and you have to use your grip more than you want to just to get up on that bar. These have been my absolute favorite grips that I've ever had, and I bought these 2 years ago and they operate and feel just like they do brand new. So Victory grips for my gymnastics grips. Not a gym bag essential, but my personal preference, barbell collars. Do you need 2 barbell collars? Do you need any barbell collars in your bag at all? The answer is no. But a lot of gyms simply just have those spring clips, and over time those spring clips wear out. So for me, I prefer to have something where I'm not having to screw around with the weights constantly. So I've got 2 sets of barbell clips. I did a dedicated video on these Eleiko open collars, which I also discussed these Rogue HG collars. Now, the big difference here, these Rogue HG collars take quite a bit of force to close on the bar when it's wrapped around, and then it clips off. And on top of it, they slide on and off. For the best collars that money can buy, I will say it's absolutely the Rogue HG collars. Now, for the most versatile collars, it's going to be the Eleiko open collars. This goes right against the weights, doesn't have to slip on and off. So for a lot of workouts where you're increasing, decreasing, screwing with the weights of any kind, these Eleiko open collars go right next to the weight, clip down, holds, but they don't hold as well as these. If I had to choose between the 2 collars that'll go in my bag, I'm going to choose the Eleiko open collars just because of their versatility. So these are going to go in my bag. These are going to stay here in the gym. This is the RX Smart drag rope, or what I like to call, I hate this thing. If you want to know what the big difference is, this is not a heavy rope. This is not a speed rope, but you do use it for speed workout drills. It's the equivalent, I say, between like the assault bike and the echo bike. The assault bike, if you get really revved up, that thing will just keep spinning, accruing meters, accruing calories, and accruing power. And the Rogue bike, when you stop, it stops. And that's what this drag rope does. Again, it is not a heavy rope. For me, when I use a heavy rope, you can really get that thing going, and the weight of the rope can get that momentum and just keep carrying over and over. A drag rope, when you stop flicking your wrist, especially when you're doing like double unders or just even single unders, it will stop, which requires a lot more forearm, a lot more wrist. And when you're really fatigued, it will also include your shoulders. So for some workouts, when I'm just doing general training, I want to make it a little harder, actually a lot harder, because this can completely change the stimulation of a workout. I will whip out this drag rope. This is a size large. I'm 6 foot tall, and it is cheap. I think it's only like 25 bucks or whatever. It's a great tool to have in your bag to add that extra intensity and difficulty to your training. I recommend a drag rope and just mixing it into your workouts every now and then. So this is the RX Smart drag rope. We got tape, self-adhesive tape, throwing that in the bag. Just a small Yeti water bottle. This will also go in the bag. Need water. And this is going to be the last thing that we talk about. And this is the Airwave mouthpiece. Now the science behind it is sound. The purpose is to promote nasal breathing. The studies specifically with the Airwave, I don't know. They're not definitive. It can be a placebo effect. Like I said earlier, placebo can be a real thing if it works. This makes me nasal breathe more than anything I've ever tried in my life. There's been studies done showing the difference between mouth breathing and nasal breathing, showing that nasal breathing has a lot of better and physiological effects. One, including that I've realized through more nasal breathing, is I feel a lot calmer during workouts. I love this thing. I am so happy I got it. I feel better. I think I had an immediate impact in my workouts. I take it on long runs. Don't think it's a gym bag essential across everybody. I just personally like it. So that wraps up this gym bag setup for 2023. Again, do love the Haven Athletic, but this is going to be my go-to bag because I'm going to be able to start riding my bike to and from the gym. And if you have any questions, any comments, any products that you think I should try, let me know. Thanks for watching. Go get after it.